Hello everyone, this is the next video in the series showcasing my HO locomotive collection. Today we have the oddball locomotives out. Now I call these the oddballs because they don't really belong to any other railroad in the collection, but somehow they've made it into the permanent collection. Some of these locomotives have been with me for many years, and some are recent acquisitions. The first one here is an old AHM River Rossi 060 tank locomotive, Reliance Rock Company number 1. This is the oldest steam locomotive that I own. It's been with me since I was a child, and it still runs very well. Next we have an old Fleischmann 462 Pacific that I picked up from a friend, and he actually also gave me a number of passenger cars for this locomotive, and I took it apart and cleaned it, and it runs great. So I decided to keep it. Next we have a little Sakura. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Switcher. Kind of like a little Plymouth type switcher. And that one I got in a trade deal. And next to it is a Sakura dockside that I got off a friend many years ago. And I have plans to paint that up one day. Behind it, we have a Varney dockside with full Central Valley valve gear. That one actually runs really well. And then behind that we have an early Athearn Blue Box GP40-2 painted and lettered for Conrail. This is the only Conrail locomotive I own, and I added a number of details to it, and it has a Athearn high performance drive in it. It's not quite a Genesis, but it is DCC ready. Next we have a Maryland and Pennsylvania modern 280 Mikado that is in very nice shape, even though it has the wrong chassis under it. I didn't notice that until after I bought it. Still looking for the correct one. And in front of that we have another Maryland and Pennsylvania. This is a 280 as well, that I got in a trade deal years ago. Next we have the recent acquisition, the little Mantua 040 Goat painted for Philadelphia and Reading, number 1180. Nice little locomotive. And then behind that we have a custom built Mikado that I found at a train show that some old guy I think built, and he did a spectacular job on this locomotive. The piping and the level of detail is just incredible, and when I saw it I realized I had to have it, and that I was never going to paint it either. You would lose so much detail. Next we have a United that's a 10-wheeler. That's a 460. Painted and lettered for Western Pacific. I got this years ago in a deal and repainted it and did the decal work on it. And it runs pretty good. And behind that we have a Scale Trains early C40, I think it is. No, this is a -8. I'm sorry, this is a -8 that someone had painted and lettered, and I just recently added sound to for a local Pennsylvania shortline railroad. It's actually kind of a cool locomotive. And beside that, we have an early Broadway Limited Blue Line General Electric AC6000 in the CSX Diversity and Motion paint scheme. This is a very powerful locomotive, and it runs pretty well, and needless to say, the sound actually still does work in it. In front of that, we have a United USRA 282 Mikado that I got at a hobby store years ago. It has a pretty nice paint job on it for just being like, it looks like a rattle can. Not sure what I'm going to do with that one yet. And next I have the recently required Railscope locomotives that I'm still trying to find the transmitter for to see if they actually work. And then I have a Athearn Ready to Run, which is part of the Roundhouse series, I think. SD40-2 tunnel motor with the see-through grates in the back and the redesigned rear truck. I always liked the Rio Grande paint scheme, so I just kind of bought one just to have it. And last, this is a Fairbanks Morris. I think it's an H1044. It's sitting on an Athearn SW7 or Baldwin S12 chassis, and I think it's just a carry shell that someone added a bunch of details to, and I was going to paint it up like Milwaukee Road one day here, but I haven't got to it yet. But that's about the end for this video. More videos to come, showcasing the collection. Bye.